Hello everyone. Today I want to show you how I would paint a local scene, actually blooming tulips at Charles Beach Orchard, which is very close to where I live. So I'm having a Canson mixed media paper, which is a little bit gray, and I will probably start with some mountains here. This is Quilox. It's very soft, and I think that it's actually, this is Sennelier. I'm painting from my iPad, and the size is 14, 11 by 14. So the major thing, this is early fall, early spring, not fall of course, but early spring, and I'm just seeing this kind of purple in the shadows. This will be like the trees, and I see kind of, a little bit. So the line will be here, I think. Yeah, that will probably work better. It's a little bit more, maybe just a little bit more, like this, okay? And then I'll probably it's a very general drawing, kind of drawing. So the basic thing here is just to find the masses of colors. Which may be, okay, some pink colors here, some pink tulips, and a little bit orange here. And then we have a mass of yellow tulips, and really kind of light yellow. And so look at what colors I use. They actually really yellow. So I'm starting this with a very light yellow, because with oil pastels you can always make them darker if you want. This is maybe even like this yellow, because it will work really well with orange, and there's kind of a something that divides, you know, the flower beds. And so the main color here will be yellow, because it's lighter, and even if we have something like purple here, you know, this kind of purple tulips, I see that we have a bath or something here. Okay, this might be a little bit darker. It's kind of a bath or something. so the yellow will prevail because it's lighter in value. And yeah, so the tulips are actually parallel, you know, all these rows of tulips are parallel to each other, but I'll probably make a light diagonal here, just a little bit to make it more interesting. Okay, yeah, it's like this, so it's very sketchy. And I might also like add some highlights of I prefer to add light right away, you know, because you can always darken it, and it's much easier to add light first and then add mid-value colors, or even shadows. That's you know, my so with oil pastels, actually the main problem, as I think that you may encounter, is that how you spread it. I mean, the initial painting may look like this, and even this, and maybe I'll add some cooler. This is probably too much. This is like really emerald green. Maybe we need something muted like this, something muted green. Okay, well, any kind of color you see. For instance, I have like this sky, right, and there are some clouds, and they're not white, but I add white at this point because I can darken this white later. And so I may even, you know, actually, if you have very light blue, it's okay. If you don't, you just add white and then add blue. So I paint like this. Yeah, white. And then when I start adding light blue, you see it's really, but again, as I said, we need to blend it a little bit. And I'm using the turpentine like this. It's actually, but if you add turpentine, you need just you see that, oh, it's a little bit muddy, but that's fine. You need to see that the colors seem kind of washed, so you may need to add more blue here. Okay, like this. So it's very, very general, and I don't go for details at this point. And I may start blending light green, it's early spring, into purple right away, like this. Actually, something like that. And maybe even something a little bit darker here, kind of a, it's actually gray. In fact, it's gray. Maybe even dark green, kind of dark olive green. And this is Sennelier. Okay, so, oops, now it's this. Okay, so I just blend like this, and you see it's a little bit washed out. Make sure that, so you place your darks here, and these darks, you need just to know that you won't change these darks, because it's kind of harder to correct the areas where the light meets the dark, you know, like this. So you need to know that these are exactly the silhouette, right, that works for you. For instance, you may add some twigs here, of course, but I'm just saying that it's always hard to okay, I'm just adding some colors which I see in the distance, and as I'm painting outside, so the pastels are really soft here, and I'll probably need some cooler greens here, just a bit, because it's like very early spring. A bit of cooler greens, and maybe some pinks here, and cooler greens. Another thing that you actually blend, you may blend some of the colors again. And the turpentine is good because oil doesn't dry really fast, and when you have any kind of oil like baby oil, whatever, it doesn't dry fast, and you have to wait, and it may ruin the paper. It may ruin the paper. Okay, so I will probably add cooler greens here, maybe just a bit of cooler greens here, and turpentine actually dries really fast. Okay, and then probably I'll just oops. So this yellow will prevail, of course. Okay. I'll probably add some tulips here. You see, actually I am adding the colors right here, right away, because it helps me to prevent a lot of blending. Actually, you may blend, but make sure that you leave some space for the lights, because if you don't, then it would be a little bit difficult to add a lot of layers. Maybe 1, 2, 3, but not many layers. Okay. And at some point, like I was giving a workshop recently to one young lady here in Crozet, Virginia, and she actually felt, she said, it's sometimes, you know, it's hard to add more layers, like because it's wax, you know, it's wax and pigment, and wax starts building up, you know, and as it builds up, it's harder to add layers of colors. Actually, I'm adding pink here. Now I can see that probably pink will be the dominant color. Yeah, it's when you paint many colors, right? Like flowers, or many flowers in a bouquet, right? You need to figure out what will be the most important color. I still think that yellow will prevail. So and this is why I will not be adding lots of highlights to these pinks, this kind of magenta pinks. Just a little bit, you know. And so now we can start adding some deeper shadows here. And I'm not even blending a lot at this point because I already have the shadows, and okay. And I may add some more yellows here. This is Quillox. Quillox actually have a very good opaque colors, and you see you may add more of them, and even kind of use this dabbing technique, which is very cool. And you see dabbing, and it's very impressionistic. And this is what I love about oil pastels, because it makes them so impressionistic. And okay, I may try to add some maybe pinks, not pinks, sorry, some greens here, just a little bit, some like this. Okay. Just I'm trying to paint fast because it's actually large size, and I want it to be done faster. Okay, I'm adding more green here, more like neutral green, and I may also I will mix it a little bit, and it's very convenient just to have just a bit of turpentine on your brush like this. It's okay if you just blend a bit of pink, okay, so no worries about that. And here we have kind of sand. We have some sand here, more like sand, some sand, like earth, and without grass. Okay. And I don't know, maybe it's kind of a little bit kind of ochre, brown ochre. So you see, I'm actually mixing brown and ochre here, okay? And brown and ochre, and some a little bit green here, okay? And some green here. Okay, so I'm blending it like this. You see, it's really dark here because it's very close to you, and it's important to have this contrast that you need in the foreground. I don't use a white brush. You may use any kind of. I just use this this brush, but because it's a small size, you know, and I just want to be delicate when I blend colors. Do it like in a delicate way, you know, to have more control. When you have a smaller brush, you have more control. Okay, don't forget just to clean your brush, and then I'll just mix this color, yeah, with turpentine, and pay attention that here I mix two analogous colors. I mix brown and I mix ochre. Brown, it's more like golden ochre, brown ochre. It's ochre, not light ochre, but medium value ochre. It's a little bit yellow, okay? It needs to be more neutral, but why I'm saying this is that you need to, when you want to blend, try to blend colors which are close to each other in a color wheel, like browns, greens and blues, greens and yellows, blues and reds and purples, blues and reds, now like reds and purples, yellows and greens, and then you may add more colors later. Okay, where is my? I'm painting from an iPad. Okay, so now I will probably start working more on the sky and the trees. I leave it just to dry, and maybe some just clouds here, just a bit of clouds. Now it seems very impressionistic, and it's very light. I mean, it's even lighter than this. I think that we need more. This is Quilox. You may start with harder pastels like Montmartre, which are harder, but I really like I like to work fast and with soft and semi-soft pastels. This is actually Montmartre, I think. It's not white, but it's very warm, kind of whitish. You see, like I'm already like kind of mixing one color with the other, with blue, and okay, I may add more blue here. Oh, it's very soft now. It's kind of even melting. You see, it's melting, but it's fine. I mean, you'll probably be happier with harder pastels because it's easier to control them. Harder pastels, I think that Montmartre and Holbein are harder, but Sennelier, a light wish, and what else, like, okay, I'll just adding this blue of the mountains to this ridge. Just I'm softening the distant mountains, and they are softer. And then I may probably add some maybe some kind of also other kind of flowers here. I don't know, some cooler colors here, and maybe even blend. It's not really that important. And I may make some kind of softer pinks here. And okay. Okay, I think that I need to add more yellows, probably. You see, I can still here add more yellows because I have only like I want to make it more here to this. Okay, like this. Okay, and probably add some yellows here too. Okay, just a bit. I will have some sunlight from my from that part of the backyard. Okay, so what I can do with this, I can add some highlights to the tulips. And when you have lots of parallel lines, make sure that you have you know, kind of, because if you have so many parallel lines like this rows, then you need to do something, just some upright planes apart from the trees. So these are basically what, like the stems, right, and some leaves, and make sure that okay, the stems kind of break these masses of flowers. Okay, so then this line needs to be broken somewhere, maybe here. Okay, somewhere here, right, or even like this. So just deepen this shadows here, and okay, we'll probably can do this here and maybe somewhere here, just okay, to make it more diverse. Yeah, something like that, maybe even more. We can actually add more more lights to this tulips here. Okay, and even here. Okay, so we don't have to paint everything as it is, but we may try to add some interest to some tulips here, maybe like this, some kind of sunlit parts of tulips with some light on tulips. Okay, and I'll probably just, I don't want you know, this area distract from this, because I still think that yellows will be my major color. Okay, major color. And then I may add some let's see, it's actually very, so this part, and let's try this part, and It's a little, maybe it's a little bit light. I'm not sure about that, but let's see. Maybe some, I'm thinking about making it a little bit grayer, because we really don't need it. Don't need this kind of, you know, brown, really brown. So I'm adding a bit of maybe purple. Now this is pink, very light pink. I'm adding I'm adding a more neutral brown here, because we don't really need this saturated plain here. We need something like because it will be too demanding. Okay. And I think that I'll probably, you know, let's see, I might even add, okay, I'll work on the trees here, and the trees, I'm adding a bit of light here. Okay, some light. Okay, like this. Yeah, some light like this. Okay. And as I added more light, I think that I can add more light here. It's a little bit probably too light. I think that I can maybe even add some cooler greens here. Let's see. Maybe just I want to add some light here. Okay. And I want to tone it down a little bit, so we don't really need this. It's too, I would say, it's probably it's a little bit warmer than, a little bit, you know, darker, just a little bit darker and cooler, because it's in the distance. And I still think that I can add some purple here. I really like purple. And I probably, you know, like make this area a little bit more, because I think that we can add even darker colors here, just a little bit more. Okay, and then yeah, here like more. You see, I'm adding more darks, and it works even better, because it's always all about contrast. Okay, so I'm adding more purple, and then okay, I'm adding some more. Okay, it's I may even now blend. I might even now blend. It's not blending well. because there is lots of brown on that brush. Okay, I'll blend more. Okay, I'll blend more, and I think that I can add more. It's not really adding well because it's wet. Okay, probably add more on this. Okay, and then I add more cooler greens here. Okay, cooler greens. So we have some purple, we have green, cooler green, and then we'll have some light here. Okay, it's a little bit wet, as you can see, but that's fine. You painting more like wet and wet. Okay, I think that we can. Okay. It's a little bit wet. Yeah, we need just to. Because I want just to stay not really very light, but I want just to add some contrast here, some light, so that, yeah, because we have light here and we need some light in this area. Okay, so now you get the idea. When the paper is wet, it doesn't really accept the colors well. I'm just showing you how it can be done. So, okay, and then I'm not going to finish, but then I'll just show you that you can always add some, details here, depending on. Okay, it's very light. Not light, but it's kind of gray, a little bit grayish, and I don't want it to be too distracting, too hard, because it's just the trees are in the distance, and I'll just blend this like this with fingers, and I may add some even more yellows if you want to add more color layers. So the thing is, you just wait it for it. You just use the spray, a Lesnichy oil pastel spray, and then you can add another layer, because the spray makes them dry to the touch. And okay, I'm just adding this kind of sky blue here, and I'm not even blending it really a lot, so I'm just adding. You see, I'm adding and blending these colors at the same time, which is cool. This one is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter. So sometimes when you apply pastels of the same, like blue and white, for instance, blue and light yellow. I mean, you just blend one pastel to the other pastel, and it works very well with analogous colors. But when you just try to do it with complementary colors, then you'll get lots of mud. It's not very convenient to paint here because my phone is on the left from me. But you understand the idea, and I may even work for some, like some sky holes, like maybe these are all details already, like some, maybe like that's too light. We need something darker. Yes, something maybe. Okay, we don't need this too light. Oh, this is probably too much. We don't need so many. Just tiny bits of light. A little bit, but they're probably too strong. There is some reflection from the sun. There's some reflection from the sun, but you can see that okay, so this is basically it, but you can, I don't know, you can add more details if you want, like it's already up to you. Like here, maybe deepen this area a little bit, maybe making it darker. I don't know, more like purple. It's always like possible to, no, this is probably too light. Okay, maybe make it a little bit darker here. Okay, I'm just using my fingers already. Just deepen the this area, making this area maybe, adding more lighter okay, lighter greens, blue greens here. What do I have over there? I have a kind of maybe purplish, pinkish, I don't know, kind of pinkish flowers there. Okay. So when you paint something like, you try to balance your colors in the distance more, not as saturated, and more saturated closer to you. Sorry, I'll probably add more. Okay, something like that. And probably you may even add, though these are very light yellow tulips, but you may add some kind of a little bit darker. You see darker yellow here, just to make it more saturated. Yeah, some adding some color, and then maybe again some lighter value yellow, like this. Okay, something like this. A bit of here, maybe a bit of here, and here. Okay. Yeah, it's always like a lot of corrections and everything, but basically you can, I think that you can add now, you know, I still can add some but some layers, but actually I think that if you use soft oil pastels, you may not be able to add more layers than, I think, more than 3 layers. But use this Lesnichy oil pastel spray, and I really like it. It helps me. It helps to add more colors. Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, this part is very dry. This one is very dry, so we can, in fact, add more cool blue and green, blue, kind of blue-green. Okay, so I know it's not finished, but this is how it can be done, and it's not. You may even, you know, like make it more interesting. Maybe you'll just add some kind of tulips here, right? So breaking these parallel masses, kind of, you know, making it like more interesting later. It's not that really finished, but okay, you can do that. And there is also a possibility to I know there's no center of interest but there's actually a house here, and I think that it may be a center of interest, of course, because tulips are just tulips, but it's kind of, it's a little bit okay, let's see, it's like kind of light brown with some, it's light brown with some green roof, green roof like this, green. It's a little bit larger than it needs to be, something like that. Yeah, okay. It's not very probably, you know, paint some kind of bushes or something around it, trees, you know, some trees. So I think that in this case, this building will be the center of interest, of course. Okay, like this, yeah. Or you may add some figures. There were actually people walking around, but I don't have them. Actually, I have them on other photographs. Okay, what I'm thinking about, I just want to add a little bit of more, you know, more contrast. I want to add a little bit more depth here, because, yeah, like this, so we can see that this is the, okay, the building. Okay, something like that. Yeah. It's actually more like a cloudy day. It's not very sunny. Well, I don't know, something like that. And I may even just show the roof better. Okay, something. Not very successful with this building. It's because it's like tiny and you need to be very specific. Okay, or something like that. Yes. Okay, so this is basically it, and thank you for watching, and I hope I will do more oil videos with oil pastels, but you get the idea. So the basic thing is just to start a painting with masses of colors and blend them, and then you can add more layers, more colors. Okay, bye bye then.